Yeah.
Hello and welcome to HD Movie Talk. I am your host, Dean's Beans, and as always, I'm joined by the great, the wonderful, the always here, Fluffy Duffy. Hello.
I got three. So you
It-
make up for last
yeah,
podcast. We only did one because
yeah,
you were shy.
that was the idea. I was really shy.
Yeah, you're really shy. You're so nervous to talk to Coco.
Yeah, good episode where we talked about. Don't tell me I'm going to remember. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. It took me a moment. I will be honest with you because that's what I strive for in this podcast, honesty. Anyway,
Okay.
okay, this episode we're doing the fourth part in a mini series we're doing where we look back at mini series.
Okay. Well, that's wrong
Okay, why are you disagreeing with me, bro? Go on.
because last episode was The Mandalorian.
Yeah, is that not a mini? What's a mini series?
A mini series, well, a limited series is 6 episodes.
Okay,
But
your
honestly,
bloody
I don't think there's a difference.
limited intelligence. Am I right? Got him. Anyway,
I think a limited series is the most like it's so
limited
stupid.
series means there's only one series.
Yeah, but okay.
Okay, can we
We're
shut up? We're going
yes,
to talk
yes.
about what we're talking about. Basically, in this series, we take a superhero show, sometimes not a superhero show, just a pop culture show that was in the zeitgeist a few years ago, and we look back at it. We go through each episode one by one, talk about what we think in hindsight, and then we decide on the best episode and how we would rank it next to all the other seasons of television we have watched so far. What are the seasons of televisions we've watched so far?
We have watched WandaVision.
Yeah.
We have watched The Mandalorian, seasons
Twice.
1 and 2.
Yeah. And
Oh, what else did we
can I ask
watch?
you a question about it?
Yeah, but it's gonna give it away.
Do you really want to? Do you really want to
Oh,
taste
Peacemaker.
it? And this week we are talking about. You are going to say different things.
Yeah, why don't you say it?
Let's say at the same time. Three, two, one. The
Falcon and the Winter
Winter
Soldier.
Soldier.
Okay, I was worried that like you were gonna say Captain America and the Winter Soldier, and I was gonna be exposed
But
as
I was
like
like, are we going to say a different show? Have we just been a different show?
yeah, because I watched WandaVision for the second time. I was really confused.
Okay, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The first question I will ask you,
Hmm.
and I'll ask our audience as well, but I expect an answer from you. The audience doesn't have to answer.
I'll speak for the audience on behalf of the audience.
Okay, so you give your answer and then you give the audience's answer.
Okay.
Because you might not agree with the audience. What did you think of this show when it first came out?
I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of whoa, pause. What are you eating?
Jaffa cake.
Oh, I thought it was a chocolate Oreo. And I was about to yell at you.
Why?
But let's continue. Because like why not just a regular Oreo? Like there's
Yeah.
enough chocolate on an Oreo.
Okay, what so just you thought it was good. No.
Yeah, I thought it had its flaws, but I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And the audiences, most of them liked it, but there was one really racist one that but we don't talk about him.
Yeah. I think this show at the time I remember thinking this show was underrated. And just I think since then I've just had more and more takes online of people going, oh, this film is mid, which I think has just brought down my internal opinion on it.
You said film.
TV show.
Limited series.
Limited series. You limited man.
Oh, I'm not limited.
From
I'm
now on, this is a
limitless. I'm
limited
Bradley
podcast,
Cooper in
okay?
2009. Wait, 2011.
Anyway, and I thought it was underrated. And rewatching it, okay, we'll get into what I thought rewatching it.
Mm-hmm.
Should we go episode by episode?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know the title of episode one? It's like the one I think you might know out of all of them.
I don't.
It's New World Order,
Oh.
which is the name
Yes,
of the Captain America film.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So basically, what happens in this episode is Sam returns Captain America's shield to the government for a museum. This is also when we get the Emmy nominated Don Cheadle appear. Did he
Hmm?
win, or was he nominated?
For what?
This
He was nominated for
he was
this?
nominated for an Emmy for his appearance in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Why?
That's why it's weird. Oh yeah, he let me have a look. Yeah, he got a supporting actor. Wait,
Did Sebastian Stan?
I don't. Let me find what he actually got. The 2021 Emmy Award nominations included a tidal wave of snubs and surprises, but no single nomination is more of a head scratcher than Don Cheadle's bid for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Drama Series.
Oh, sure.
And he was, he did nothing. Anyway,
Yeah.
uh, Sam is working for the military, but can't take out a loan and is struggling financially. Bucky is trying to make up for his past actions, and is like having court mandated therapy. And Torres has a run-in with the superpowered flag smashers, and the government announced a new Captain America. That's episode 1. What were your thoughts?
I thought episode 1, I thought was very well executed. I think it's a good episode,
I think
and the
it's a
ending
great
is
opening.
awesome.
And I think that opening action scene of, if you don't remember, the Falcon flying that between like through a canyon and helicopters and fighting Batroc the Leaper.
Also, in Falcon's new suit,
Oh yeah,
like not his new suit, but like his suit,
yeah,
it's
the Falcon,
sick.
the new Falcon suit,
Yeah.
is a great suit. That opening action scene, I was like, oh yeah, this is what I kept thinking. And I'm sorry to dog on something else, but I was like, this is what the action in Black Widow should have been like.
How do you mean?
Just because I remember when we were coming up to Black Widow, we were all a bit,
You and me.
yeah. We were recording our podcast before Black Widow. That was the first like Marvel film that came out, I think. And
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm looking forward to. I don't see the point in this film. And there were loads of rumors about Black Widow coming back to life during it or whatever. But I was like, the one thing I'm looking forward to this film for is Winter Soldier style action, because that's what they promised, and Black Widow did not deliver on that.
No, they did not.
And I think this has great action.
Yeah, especially like the first. I remember watching this first episode and being like, "This seems like a movie." Like just like the action scene, like the production quality, everything about it felt like it was in a movie.
Would you say this is the best action in a Marvel Disney Plus show? Because I want to say it is.
I
Hawkeye's pretty good.
Moon Knight's pretty good.
Yeah, but Moon Knight cuts out all the action scenes.
Yeah, but like that, there's some cool stuff in there.
Yeah, there is. I think I prefer this though, personally. Anyway,
I think I prefer Moon Knight.
episode 2. It's called The Star-Spangled Man. Bucky and Sam go and investigate the flag smashers together, who turn out to all be super soldiers. And while they're investigating them, the new Captain America and his sidekick Battlestar show up and kind of mess everything up, and the flag smashers get away. Afterwards, Bucky introduces Sam to Isaiah Bradley, a black super soldier from the 60s who the government had kept secret and locked up. And then Bucky gets arrested for missing his therapy, and they have to have joint therapy together.
So I have 2 controversial takes.
Go
on. I think one could. I really enjoy John Walker's story.
Me too.
I think he's
because
like
you
not a
find
good.
him relatable and inspiring.
Exactly. No, because he's such a flawed
great
character.
John Walker cosplay.
I wouldn't dare. Are you kidding me? I would get canceled instantly. Maybe U.S. agent, but if I was dressed up as Captain America,
Okay, yeah, you could do U.S. agent. You could do, yeah. Evan does Homelander.
That's true. But anyways, and I would say John Walker's storyline is, um, I don't know if like Sam's storyline kind of bores me at times, so I don't know which one I prefer.
Yeah.
However, Isaiah Bradley's infinitely more interesting.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
It's so good. I love that entire subplot.
But also, I remember when this show was coming out and they were like, oh, one episode we're going to see a flashback, and people were talking about that. And I'm glad we didn't, because
Yes.
I think like what works about it is that it is limited in scope and it's kind of
Hmm.
just a few scenes, and I think that works.
I think if we were to be shown a flashback, there wouldn't be any point to the story about it. Like, yeah, it would be
Yeah.
cool to see it, but the point is for Sam to better understand how important that shield is and like what
Yeah.
it comes along with.
If they did like a what if or like 70s Avengers, it would be cool to see him. But then
Yes,
other
for
than
sure.
that,
Um,
I love this episode. I think this episode does a really great job of just like us knowing there's something wrong about John Walker, but not being able to go, oh, he did this thing wrong.
right, because he at least at this point in the series, he doesn't really do anything wrong. It seems like he's the perfect
Exactly, and you're kind
person
of
to
like,
do
but
it.
in like it's like you're like I watching it. I'm like, there's something wrong with this guy, and I don't know what it is to put my finger on.
And it's also just from like an excellent performance from Wyatt Russell. Like
Yeah,
you can tell there's like a little bit of like an underlying anger to this dude.
yeah, and also the fact like the costume doesn't quite fit right, and all those kind of elements.
Right.
I think what makes the nagging feeling worse to me is that he's like enjoying the press tour, and he feels very comfortable doing that sort of thing. I kind of noticed this watch, and I was like, oh, that's like not the right
Right.
way to.
And I do also think it's interesting how like, you know, how well, I'll save that for future conversations. So I'm gonna hold that thought, holding it right here off screen, and then I'll grab it later.
Okay, episode 3 is called The Power Broker. The episode opens with Bucky, well, Bucky breaking Zemo out of prison, and then Bucky, Sam, and Zemo go to Madripoor to investigate the Power Broker because they think that's the source of the super soldier serum. That's a tongue twister. Here they meet
Got
Sharon
it.
Carter, completely unrelated from the Power Broker, and they find
Yeah,
the
not at all.
source of the serum. And after finding out the Flag Smashers stole the remaining serum, Zemo killed the scientist who was making it, and the episode ends with the Dora Milaje arriving for Zemo.
Um, I kind of forgot how awesome Zemo's theme is.
Yeah,
It's so good.
I've got some thoughts on Zemo that I think I'm going to say for later episodes, but
Okay.
great. And I enjoy his use here is not that he's like a conniving villain.
Right.
I think like yeah, they utilize and like it. Sure, he's more interesting than the villain that this than the show actually does use. But I'm glad that he's just that
We
you're
haven't
just.
talked about Carly yet.
I mean, she doesn't appear. I mean, she's barely in episode 2, I think,
Right.
and in
So,
episode
but
what did she do in episode 3? Not a lot.
um I think they use Zemo really I think they really understand who Zemo is, especially in
Mm-hmm.
this show, because like, yeah, he's not a good dude and he's always going to act in self-interest,
Well,
but
not even self-interest though. I think he's acting in like what he believes is like he thinks he's
yeah,
helping the world.
he thinks he's a good person
Yeah,
to
like
a certain extent.
yeah. I don't think it is like it's not self-interest. I
But
think
like, I didn't mean self-interest, but what like
I know what you mean.
he
Like
thinks is
what
the
he
right
thinks
thing
is
to
yeah.
do.
He's good, and I'm gonna get back to that. I think there's a line in this episode which Bucky says, which pretty well sums up Sharon Carter's character, which is wow, she's kind of awful now.
Listen, I have no problem with changing a character.
Yeah,
Like you kind of have to do that, but Not this one.
It
He
also
doesn't.
it gives me no joy to dog on like the only female characters in this show, because like the female characters are Sharon, Carly, and Sam's sister. Sam's sister's good.
Yeah, Sam Sister's good.
I mean, but she's such a minor
Yeah,
character that neither of us just said her name, which I can't think of. Sarah.
Sarah. Yeah,
Uh, and like I don't enjoy being the guy that's like, oh, I don't like these female characters, but they're not good.
they aren't good. Um, Sharon Carter, like nobody was like the biggest fan of Sharon Carter in Civil War, and was she a Winter Soldier?
Yeah, she's
Yes.
his next door neighbor, but you
Um,
don't know she's Carter.
but like nobody disliked her. Like she was like fine. And honestly, this is a huge issue I have with this series. A huge issue is that I am things like Loki or WandaVision, I'm not so sure about, but this 100% would have worked better as a movie. I am,
Yeah, there's stuff where like I think a lot of there's moments like I think John Walker and Zemo wouldn't have worked as well if this was a movie, but then I think most other things would have been improved.
yeah, some things would have been changed, but like there are like so many subplots in this show where I'm like, that's
Yeah.
interesting, but I'm kind of bored and like, I don't know. I feel like it just
I
is
get what
it's
you mean.
dragged out.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it would all if they announced this as a movie, that would have been really dumb of them being like, oh, you're on Captain America, but before you get a Captain America movie, have a show about have a movie about deciding to be Captain America. Anyway, next episode is episode 4. The whole world is watching. Bucky, Sam, and Zemo are looking for Carly in Latvia when John Walker and Lamar Hoskins show up. Zemo, like they have a confrontation with Carly where Sam's trying to talk her down, but then John interrupts. Zemo tries to destroy the remaining super soldier serum, but John takes one. Hoskins is killed by one of the flag smashers, and John decapitates a flag smasher. I didn't come up with this joke, but before you say anything, I want to say a joke.
Okay, go for it.
Decapitation America.
I really wish I had like either like a button that goes like boo
Yeah.
or a crickets one.
No, I think we need like a laugh track. That would have been really good.
That would have been really
We could have a
anything.
soundboard as a podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that'd be really fun. We definitely wouldn't overuse it.
No, not at all.
I think we'd either overuse it constantly or forget it was there. And then
Probably a good mix of both. Like I bet there go episodes where like I lose it.
Yeah. Okay.
So there was one thing that we didn't touch on that I
Decapitation. Yeah.
is it out of your system or do you need a little bit more time?
It's out of my system.
Okay. At the end of the episode, John Walker is beaten by the. Can you say it? I don't know how to say it.
Dora Milaje.
Dora Milaje, and he goes, "They weren't even super soldiers," and I thought that was a really good moment because we've gotten little sprinkles of his like insecurities and him wanting to have control and people to respect him, but he's not really getting that. And I think us getting
the
that
one
moment
line from this episode I wrote down is they weren't even super soldiers. It's just the look on his face.
And I think it just sets up episode 4 perfectly. And it's so like the feeling you get when John Walker like throws his shield and it like cracks through the wall or whatever. It's like it was really well executed, that entire arc of him getting.
And then he really well executed the flag smasher.
Yeah. But also we get a lot of Carly nonsense in this episode that I'm not into.
Yeah. I quite like the bit where she phones Sarah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought her conversation with Sam is good.
The Bechdel test.
The what test?
Bechdel. That's
What's
when
that?
you have to have two women having a conversation, something that isn't about a man.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, I like the conversation with Sam. I think I don't have an issue with Carly up to this point. I mean, maybe she's a bit underutilized,
I
but
just think the entire Flag Smashers arc, I don't find that interesting.
yeah, no, 100%. Okay, can I now talk about the stuff I love about Zemo?
Yes, go for it.
I think the best type of villains are the type of villains that hold to their beliefs no matter what, and they also have a respect for the heroes.
Mm-hmm.
And Zemo is both of those things because, like, he thinks he's doing the right thing. He thinks the super soldier serum is awful, and he's got a point because he's like, oh, this happened and this happened, and the only good time it happened was Steve, and like he respects Steve Rogers and he respects Sam Wilson and he respects Bucky Barnes, and like no matter what, you could offer him all the money in the world or whatever, he has his mission and he doesn't deviate from that. It's not like in this they bring him back in the show and like you could have very easily have gone, oh, I'm now trying to get revenge on Bucky Barnes for locking me in prison, and that's what I'm trying to do in this show. Or, oh, I'm gonna try take the super soldier serum and sell it for myself. But he
Right.
doesn't. He's like, I hate super soldier serums. That's my thing. That's all I'm gonna worry about.
And I think it's really interesting because like he hated the Avengers so much in Civil War. But like when he says it doesn't necessarily sound ingenuine, like it kind of makes sense for his character, but it shows some sort of growth as well.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. I want to, because he hasn't been confirmed for Thunderbolt, so I wonder when we see him next.
We might get him in Captain America or Thunderbolts.
I mean,
Either way.
he's so often the leader of the Thunderbolts, and I
Mm.
think he would make that team so much more interesting
Yes, he would.
if you put him with like the Red Guardian, and you know, he better be in it.
And
The scene where the guy gets decapitated is great as well.
it's great because in episode 5 we get it's more um elaborated upon, but they don't John Walker, Bucky, and Falcon don't speak any words, but you can tell exactly what they're all thinking
Yeah, exactly.
through their like nonverbal expressions. It's really, and you get that shot of like at a bird's eye view of uh John Walker holding the shield with like blood on the edge, and
yeah, and then there's just the bit afterwards of him like looking around, just like this him pulling this face is just everyone is standing there with phones in their hands, and he's like, oh no.
yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, episode 5 has the shortest summary. It's called Truth. Bucky and Sam beat up John Walker and take back the shield. Zemo is given to the Wakandans and returned to the raft. When he's not returned to the raft, is he? He goes to the raft. John is discharged as Captain America, and Bucky and Sam hang out and fix a boat.
The first action scene, Bucky and Sam versus John Walker, so good.
Maybe I like top 10 in the MCU, I think. Big claim.
Big claim, but I think I would need to go over all the awesome
It would
fight
take
scenes.
a while to figure that out. That's a
But
whole TikTok.
it is very good. That's a whole TikTok series.
Yeah,
Man.
that's a. Imagine if I was like ranking every fight scene in the MCU. That one time Bucky stormed, there's like 5 per movie.
Do it tomorrow and then use it as a promo. Bing bang boom.
Oh, there's so many. Okay.
But I think there are so many great moments. You get the moment of John Walker alone, and you see him like take a moment and regret what he did, but then he's like, well, gotta get back to it. And it's like, oh boy. And also when they're fighting and John goes like, why are you doing this? I think just shows a lot about how John thinks and
yeah,
him not fully understanding, and kind of makes him way more terrifying of I think that one line is super, like we get a really good look into his psyche because he should understand why, but he doesn't because he's a pretty like self-centered character. I don't know. I don't know if self-centered is the right word.
He's like I don't yeah, I the words are skipping me. Like he doesn't think outside of like he's very unempathetic.
Mm-hmm.
Like he doesn't like he kind of sees, oh, but I had to do this because whatever. And yeah, I it's done very well because he never becomes the conniving villain once again.
Because he's
And
not
like
a villain.
well, he's not, but he never does like it's not like in the episode before he just kills one of the flag smashers for no reason. Like you see where like I'm not like you see where he's coming from. Obviously, he shouldn't have just executed a guy, but like you understand why he's angry and he just took the super soldier serum, and you understood why he took the super soldier serum as well. Like I think there are layers to explain every action, every mistake he made, and I think it works really well because he's I think he is what a guy would be if you made him Captain America, if you just made a soldier Captain America.
Yeah.
And like that's
100%.
kind of like emphasized by when he's upset he keeps losing all these fights because he's just like a soldier who's been chucked into the world of superheroes.
Um, and all about that fight, what's really interesting and what kind of makes me have a little bit of an issue with the finale, John Walker almost beats both of them.
Like he nearly kills Sam. Like
Yeah.
he goes to double decapitate and lifts his shield to decapitate Sam, and then Bucky tackles him off.
Which I think is another, like, the fact that he went for the decapitation again kind of shows how, like, not
Yeah,
right in the head this guy is.
yeah,
Um, but it's like, because before he got the super soldier serum, I would argue he would have been able to beat Sam without the wings.
yeah,
Because he's really, like, he's not just like a soldier, he's like 10 out of 10 on every chart.
yeah, yeah. Which I
Um,
like. It is you see the differences between him and Steve Rogers, with um, like one of them was the perfect soldier before the serum, and that's why they chose him instead of just choosing like a guy who like a good guy.
right. Um, and I think it's so cool the way they get the shield off of Walker is awesome. They like snap his arm in half.
Yeah, yeah. Can I jump back an episode? Actually, I just remembered another
Sure,
great
go for
action
it.
scene. Um, the boys um the Dora Milaje, I think is a lot of fun. And like we
Oh,
did talk about
yes.
the aftermath of it, but like just
And
how you see,
Simo just sitting there watching
yeah,
them work it out.
and just like when the arm, you made me think of it because of like they deactivate Bucky's arm.
Mm. Oh yeah. That was really cool.
Good
I,
stuff.
I think like with this fight and a little bit with the finale too, this show does a really good job at fully utilizing all of the Falcon's possible
Yeah,
combos. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Especially when you add the shield in as well.
yeah.
I
But the
like, yeah, yeah.
um but then so the first like 15 minutes of this episode are sick.
Hmm.
The latter half of this episode I find boring.
I think a lot of it is kind of, well, a substantial part of it I think is needed for the show. Like I do enjoy Bucky and Sam's heart to heart, like when they're training, and
Yes.
Sam's like, no, sorry, Bucky's like, yeah, it's fine, you gave up the shield, and Sam is like, I'd help someone on your list. I think that bit's needed, and I do enjoy like the boat montage. I think
It's
like
good. It just takes a while.
yeah, it does. I always enjoy these moments where you see like your heroes be more relatable, but I get what you mean about it, messing with the flow of things.
I think like this is the main like culprit of maybe it could have worked as like a 2 hour
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Because if this was
It's,
like
it's a
a
tricky one.
15-minute sequence, I think it would work.
Yeah, it's a tricky one because I would like, yeah, it would work as a movie, but you'd miss. I think you'd lose Zemo and John Walker stuff.
Yeah, obviously you'd have to rework some things,
Yeah.
but I think this would have been almost as impactful as a
The
movie.
one I feel most strongly about is Quantum Mania as a TV show.
Sure.
I think that would make it so much better. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Quantum Mania.
Any more thoughts on episode 5?
We've done that enough. I like Zemo and Bucky's scene when Zemo's returned.
Mm.
And then Zemo's like, I took the liberty of crossing my name off of your list. Was that any good?
Oh. That was freaky.
Daniel
For a second, I
Brawl was
thought
here.
that the actor from Inglourious Basterds was in the Zoom.
I thought the German voice dubber for Lightning McQueen was here. Fun fact for you guys out there: Daniel Brawl is a great actor.
That was fine, I guess.
Wow.
I'm trying to think of any other.
Just went off, so I'm just going to take a be
Oh.
real. Keep talking if you like. Anyway, continue talking.
I would not like to, but anyways, here I am.
That's a horrible selfie cam.
Okay, I guess you have to do it again. I'll keep
posting
talking.
I'm posting it. I believe.
Shucks.
I'm not wasting any more time.
This episode really because in these usually when we're doing these series, I watch them in like bursts of 3 or whatever. This one really dragged on. This one I was struggling with.
Okay, yeah, I get you. It's different when you're binging it, I think, as well. It's part of
yes.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
This, if the show ended here, I'd have less issues. Okay.
I'm interested to talk about this finale.
Me too. The finale is the episode to talk about. Episode 6.
I think I'm going to disagree with you on some things here.
One world, one people.
Ugh.
What, do you not like that name?
The Flag Smashers. I really don't. I'm not into the Flag Smashers.
And also, they don't smash a single flag.
Yep, they don't even have a flag.
It's like God. They've smashed them all. It's like God the God Butcherer all over again. He doesn't butcher any gods. These guys don't smash any flags, and there's gonna be.
But could you imagine if they had a 5-minute scene of them just punching pieces of fabric? That would be the most stupid thing.
How do you smash a flag? Like tearing a flag isn't smashing it. Like burning a flag isn't. It's illegal to burn the American flag in your country, isn't it?
I know it's extremely frowned upon. If it's illegal, people do it anyways.
If it's not illegal,
I'm looking it up. Continue talking.
Okay. We are the world.
No, it's a form of free speech, so it's legal.
Oh, nice. I like free speech.
But also, burning things can be dangerous.
Bring Gary Lineker back. There's a joke for my UK listeners.
Good one, Dean.
Oh, good old Gary Lineker. Also, it's like a sport thing that I'm not interested in.
Is Gary Lineker a sports guy?
Gary Lineker is an ex-footballer who pooed himself on the pitch during the World Cup. There's a fun fact about that guy.
Football.
He's from Leicester. That's where I am.
Touchdown.
No. Okay.
Okay, the finale. 6. Do you want? Yeah, go ahead.
Shush. Okay. Sorry. Episode 6. One world, one stupid Harlan. Bucky, Sharon, and the new Captain America tried to stop the Flag Smashers. I wrote I was clearly watching the screen while I wrote this next note. Walker shows up and fights Carly and saves some people. I probably meant to say John Walker. Captain America lectures some politicians. John Walker becomes the US agent, and Sam has a hangout with Isaiah Bradley.
Okay. So, first of all, gotta get this out of the way. Bucky's new suit, Sam's new suit,
Hot.
hot. It
Hot.
is a perfect suit.
Oh, this is. Oh no, One Division is the start of the upward trajectory for the MCU and suits. Say what you want.
Mm.
I'm making this a TikTok. Good idea, Dean. Say what you want about Phase 4. This project was bad. This project was bad. The CGI's bad. The suits are banging.
The suits are banging.
And One Division, and then this, I think, is like the graph.
There is a complaint for over design in Marvel suits, but okay, this might be one of my hottest Marvel takes.
Okay. Oh, ouch. Well, we need a theme tune for your hottest Marvel take. We need a podcast theme tune.
Without the helmet,
yeah.
Without the helmet, Thor 4 suit is the best one.
What best Thor suit?
Yeah.
I like the Ragnar. I don't know. I guess it depends what you're looking for. No, Infinity War. The sleeveless and then the black. Yeah, I reckon I could see this being second, but I love the black tunic with sometimes it has the black scale arms and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, it's cool, but I like the Thor 4 one more.
Fair enough. Oh, ouch. That was Harlan's hot take. Now back to our usual programming.
Bow, 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 down.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, let's continue.
This is why we need a soundboard so I could like press a button and it'd be like, ooh, ouch, hot.
Continuing.
Hot, sexy Sam Wilson.
Hot, sexy Sam Wilson. He has my one complaint is Sam's shield gets stopped by a chair. And I'm like, that should have happened.
That's the only complaint you've got. Moving on.
Yeah, kind of. Because I know we're going to butt heads on something here. I know we are going to really butt heads.
Okay, let's get this out of the way. You tell me your opinion. You think you're going to butt heads on
John
after
Walker.
I press this button on our soundboard.
Oh, sorry.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, ow. Go on.
John Walker.
Okay, what are your thoughts?
I thought over the series, we have gotten an excellent look at the conflict inside of his head.
Yes, I agree.
He wants to do the right thing.
Yes,
but he can't get over his anger and frustration and his like impulses.
Yes, I agree.
And he makes the right decision at the end of the episode.
Yes, I agree.
And it makes sense for his character.
No, I agree. It makes sense for his character. My issue lies with kind of like as they're walking off, they're kind of like the show kind of treats John Walker as a redeemed character now. And Sam Wilson and Bucky are like, oh, you're not so bad. And everyone's like, wow, he was good after all. What a nice guy. And like, that's the bit I disagree with because I think they try to give him, like, it feels like they're giving him a redemption when he, like, what he does in this episode doesn't make up for what he did previously.
It doesn't make up for it.
You know,
like I don't think
he tried to decapitate Sam Wilson. Decapitation America. That can be another button on the soundboard. Decapitation America.
But I don't like. They kind of. I don't know. Maybe the show treats, but I don't think like Bucky or Sam treat him differently. I think they understand that he's on their side right now, and they need him.
Yeah, I would have liked just a bit more of just someone being like, "Oh, thanks for helping," but I feel like he has an arc, and I don't think he comes to any realization. I don't think he really learns anything. I think that's the issue, that he is kind of like, "Oh, it's fine now. I'm this."
However, I also think like it's interesting because when I was a kid, growing up, I always looked at U.S.
Decapitating
agent. Yeah, yeah. Third grade was rough. Um, and when I was growing up, I always looked at U.S. agent as like the bad Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
But John Walker isn't a bad, like, as a U.S. agent, he isn't bad. He's just a more violent
Yeah.
uh, super soldier that
He's
the
like an
government uses.
anti-hero, yeah.
Yeah, but like when considering he's not tarnishing the Captain America name anymore,
Yeah.
I don't think there's any reason to dislike him.
No, I have softened on like his finale on the finale as a whole on a rewatch. Like I don't like this episode. The
Me
finale
either.
might be the weakest episode, but I I don't dislike it as much as I remember disliking it.
I think the show starts off with you just hating John Walker.
Yeah.
Like you're not supposed to like him.
Yeah.
But I think that's what the show tries. I know it's interesting that the show tries to make you like him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I don't. That's what I kind of have an issue with. Like, like I get like I think he's a well-rounded character. I don't think he's a villain. I think he's well written. I think amazingly performed, well written until the finale. I like all of that. But then when they're kind of like, oh, we like this guy now as a show, I'm like, no, no, we don't. Like, he's still a pretty bad bloke. Like, sure, he's got good intentions. Sure, he's fine, but he's a bad bloke.
Um, like, I'm interested. Like, I think Sam as Captain America. I'm most interested to see where they dig his character.
I think he's great.
But
Sam,
right under that is John Walker.
yeah, I agree. I just speak about Sam for a minute. I think
Mm-hmm.
he's a really underrated hero in Phase 4, and I really
Yeah,
love him in this show.
I
I think
think
he's great as Captain America.
his speech at the end
Mm-hmm.
of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it to me at least, it feels a little bit unnatural.
Yeah, but I felt very Captain America to me, I think.
It Yes. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of necessary, but Sam does a lot of um preaching, which
Yes.
is necessary for such a, you know, it's about a becoming the Black Captain America. Like it is, and obviously, I'm a white dude. I'm in no place to say this,
Wait,
but I know you can't see color. I know this is a shock to you. I was
yeah,
kind of keeping it a secret, but
positive white guy. Yeah.
but and I think it just feels a little unnatural in the end. I feel because we've gotten a lot of it throughout the series.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I have a question for you.
yeah.
So obviously Sam Wilson's Captain America,
Mm-hmm.
and like Captain Britain is going to show up in the MCU eventually. Like I think in
Probably.
the next 5-10 years. And people have been saying like Henry Cavill. Oh, if you had to make your own captain of a certain country, what country would you choose, and what would they sound like? Like, what would their voice be like?
So I'd probably have to choose what's like somewhere in
Okay, I'll give you another. What if they had to have a circular item of food as a shield?
oh okay, so like I get where we're going. I understood where we were going with the show immediately, but I was trying to think of saying ways like countries around Italy or
And you
similar to Italy,
couldn't
and
think of any.
I couldn't think of any. I
You
don't know
and
where Italy is on the world.
I've been to Italy. Have we talked about this on the podcast?
Congrats! It's the same distance that Indiana is to me, which is like right next to me.
Yeah, it would.
You know,
No,
you and your little countries all right next to each other. Look at me. I
you're
travel
just
the world. I
jealous.
go to different countries.
It was like a 10-hour drive.
But I have traveled.
Oh, okay.
It takes me 24 hours to drive to get to California. How
Yeah,
long did it take you to get to Italy?
like 10.
So I've traveled more of the world than you.
That's. But what I've. What does that even mean? How many times have you left your country?
Twice.
How many times were they to see me?
Twice.
Oh, we're so cute. Okay.
Great.
Anyway, just do the stupid Italian accent.
Mamma mia, pizza pie. Look at me. I'm Captain Italy. Ah.
No, we can. Why'd you have to demean me like this? While we're sidetracked, I just got a comment on my Be Real from our podcast's favorite friend.
Who?
Will Paulsland.
Yeah, what'd he say? Birthday boy.
He said, birthday boy, as of this week, please ask if he's showing me his ring finger so I can finally marry that hot man.
Okay, so you just like
I'm
just
gonna
go
write.
out spoil. Do you just go out spoiling everybody's proposal? Like, do you just like do you enjoy doing that? Because now I know. Now I'm expecting it. So thanks.
Okay.
Anyways.
Also, Karis said to say hi when I told her I was phoning you.
Oh.
This podcast is just the most loose thing. This is just
Hi
a
guys.
conversation between two. We should just stop recording this. I think everything would go so much easier if we were like, let's fix this movie this week in a conversation with each other that we're not filming. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Two things we're yet to talk about.
Yes.
Number one, we've talked about this. The Flag Smashers. Final thoughts. What was that?
Me sleeping.
Oh, is that a
I find the Flag Smashers so boring. I don't care about their cause.
Yeah. They're boring, but they're not boring enough to annoy me. If that
They
makes
were
sense.
annoying me.
Were they? Okay. I get it. Like that's fair enough. But I'm just saying there are other villains. None come to mind. I like the Miss Marvel villains.
Especially because like the Captain America franchise, because this is part of the Captain America franchise, I would argue.
Yeah.
They always knock it out of the park with those villains, I feel.
Yeah.
And this one is just and I know and I know a large part of that is because they had to rework a lot of stuff regarding the pandemic, right?
Do you want to explain that for our listeners in case they don't know?
So I'm a little bit
yeah, I'm not 100% sure either. So
100% sure, but if I'm correct, there was a big plot line with the Flag Smashers regarding vaccines and
like there's steel vaccines or something like that near the start of the show. And I think part of the issue is that the threat is a bit vague, where they're like, "Oh, politicians are doing a political thing. We need to stop," and that's it. Like I watched the show today. I couldn't.
Did you watch all of it?
Not today, no.
Oh.
But like I watched the last few episodes today. I couldn't tell you what they were trying to stop.
No, 100%. Like they keep it very vague. It's annoying.
And like but I don't I think like Miss Marvel villain is more boring.
This is true.
I'm trying to think of Phase 4 villains. It's funny, the most boring Phase 4 villain I probably can't remember. This or Crow from Eternals.
Yeah.
What's more boring? Flag Smashers or Eternals? Crow.
Maybe I would say Flag Smashers.
Yeah.
Because like those people in Eternals, like they at least they get like cool powers and stuff to look at.
And the one does have a bit of sexual tension with Angelina Jolie.
It's like her brother or something. Anyways,
think of other really forgettable. Sorry, I'm
I got a forgettable
I know what you're
villain.
Go ahead.
The Power Broker.
Yay.
Oh my god. When they announced, Sharon, you're the Power Broker, it was so obvious. It was like the worst twist and most like uncool. Like, oh.
And who cares?
Who
no
cares
one ever
about the Power
cared
Broker?
about this character. I like she was fine in the Captain America films, the latter two. Like she's good. I think she's pretty good in Winter Soldier. She does
Mm-hmm.
nothing in Civil War. She just,
Mm-mm.
I just like it brings me no joy to say it. But I've just never cared about her, and like the only time I felt anything towards this character was annoyance when she kissed Steve Rogers.
Yeah, that was a little weird. Especially because
I
they had to
mean,
like,
that's weird on Steve's side. Like you can't blame. You don't. Let's not go
yeah.
victim blaming.
Hey, I wasn't victim blaming. I just
Hey,
said it was weird.
hey! No victim blaming
Okay.
under my roof, Sonny Jim. Okay, it's dumb. It's dumb. Who cares? And also, who cares? I didn't. I just realized I didn't watch the end credit scenes for this. Was there only one?
I think so. And it was the Sharon thing.
Okay, cool.
Also, U.S. Agent's new suit. It's
Oh,
cool.
dope.
Yeah.
Dope. I want to see what his shield situation is. I mean, every character is vibranium at the moment in the MCU, but then
That's
also
true.
the second, and then you watch Wakanda Forever, and they're like, no vibranium for anyone. Anyway, let's give the symbol of America a vibranium suit.
Yep.
You don't think the government are gonna be like, oh, can we have a taste of that, please, Sonny Jim?
Well, Val, I guess, really wants them. We never talked about Val.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is Valentina Allegra Constantine the Third. Is that her name?
Sure. Let's go with it.
Introduction into the MCU. She has since appeared in Hawkeye. Did she appear in Hawkeye?
I'm not sure,
She
actually.
appeared in Black Widow and
Yes.
Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Yes.
And I'm not 100% sure what her role is now because I was like, oh, obviously she's setting up the Thunderbolts. But now
Right.
we've got Harrison Ford. So I don't know who's doing what.
Well, I mean, it's government, so there'll probably be a lot of things going on there.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on. So,
Okay.
okay,
So
should we
I
get
think
into our like overall thoughts?
yes,
Do you think you enjoyed this show more or less on a rewatch?
I definitely enjoyed it less.
I think I enjoyed it more. I think there is a lot of great stuff in, and like I'm not saying it's a great show, but I think there's a lot of great stuff. I think the commentary with Zemo and Super Soldier stuff, I think is interesting. I think Zemo's great, John Walker's great, Sam is great. Bucky doesn't have loads to do, but he's great. The action is great. There's just a few weak bits around that.
I think my first viewing of the show, just like a forgettable MCU movie, it goes by a lot faster. You
Yeah.
just like ingesting the world, but on rewatch, I feel like the show drags a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It has overinflated run times.
Yeah, this has I feel like the longest average episode of an MCU show. I don't have numbers in front of me. That's just a guess, but yeah,
But like Sam's great, Bucky's great, John Walker's great, Zemo's great. Everybody's good in this. It just goes on for too long, in my opinion.
fair enough. I think we will agree about where to rank this though.
Okay, let's see.
Part of me, I'll go for our ranking first.
Okay.
I'll do it this way. Do you think? Here's an easy question for you, just to set you up. Do you think this show is better than Peacemaker?
No.
Do you think this show is better than The Mandalorian season 2?
No.
Do you think this show is better than The Mandalorian season 1?
No.
Do you think this show is better than WandaVision?
No.
I think there is an argument to be made that it's better than WandaVision, but I won't make that argument.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I think they have a lot of the same flaws. So
they do have a lot of the same flaws. However,
yeah,
watching WandaVision, it was fun to watch because they do things differently in the show.
Mm-hmm.
The episodes are shorter, and there's a lot more interesting moments between characters.
I can agree with everything that just came out of your mouth.
Why do you think it should go?
I agree. Like, if I really had to decide, I would say WandaVision is better just because it like mixes up a genre and like visions in it, and it's a bit of fun. Where I think this show has I feel like it has a lot more intriguing elements to it, and like the action. I think I can't overstress how like I think the action here is really really great.
I think this show is where people like the first main like culprit of people complaining about the MCU shows.
Yeah.
Like, people say like they're kind of boring. You don't really need to watch it. Like WandaVision, I think it's one everybody should watch. I think it's just cool and good insight into the MCU. But this one is like you can probably just skip this and watch Captain America 4 and kind of understand what
Well,
happened.
no, you could, because at the end of Avengers Endgame, Captain America's like, "You're Captain America now, Sam," and Sam's like, "Okay." And then in this, he's like, "I'm not Captain America now." And at the end of the show, he's like, "I'm Captain America now," and that's the show.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
you can like it could be wiped from existence and no one would notice. Now the big
But
question. I go on.
like it's he gets a better understanding, and if you see the show,
Yeah,
it's gonna make a bigger impact in the movie. But
I'm not saying it was a waste of time because, like I said, I enjoy. I think I
yeah,
enjoy this more than most people.
okay.
The big question is, what is the best episode? I think you would go 2 or 4.
What
So
was
just to
2?
recap, episode 2, Bucky and Sam investigate the Flag Smashers, and then Captain America and Battlestar show up, and they have the fight on top of the lorry, and then Bucky introduces Sam to Isaiah Bradley.
Semi.
Sorry, and then Bucky and Sam have the joint therapy session.
I say episode 4.
Okay. Can I? Sorry, I realize we brushed over the best part of this show.
What?
When Isaiah Bradley goes to the Captain America Museum.
That is really good. That is a really good part.
It's so sweet, and he just softens a little bit. Anyway,
Also, I paused and read what it said on Isaiah Bradley's like little stone, and they don't hold anything back. Like it's totally like the government used him, and so that was cool.
Actually, I think it is episode 4 because episode 4 you get the best Zemo stuff. I think you get the best John Walker stuff.
Yeah,
and I think you get the best Sam stuff.
And an argument could also be made, like at the opening, the pilot is really good. I could see people arguing for episode 5, but
Okay, so currently our episode ranking goes series 2 episode 7 of The Mandalorian, which is the prison break one, not the prison break one, where they break into the facility to find out where Grogu is. Second place is Peacemaker episode 5, which I think is when he kills his dad. And then we've got The Mandalorian season 1 episode 4, when Mando and Cara Dune fight the ATST. And then we've got WandaVision episode 7, which one's episode 7? The episode's called On a Very Special Episode of.
That's when Quicksilver shows up.
Is that the one where
they have the fight? Wanda and Vision.
On a Very Special. Oh yeah, that's actually episode 5. I don't know why I wrote down episode 7. There you go. Yeah, that's a great episode. I want to put Falcon and the Winter Soldier above that.
Above that episode?
Above that episode of WandaVision.
Sure. But overall,
WandaVision. No, yeah. Overall.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think because we've got for those who don't know, during this series we have 2 separate rankings. One of the show's overall, the seasons overall, and one of our favorite episodes. And I think the best episode of The Falcon and Winter Soldier is better than the best episode of WandaVision.
I agree.
And it's a really good episode, but it's just, yeah. What do you think is going to tie into the rest of the MCU? Where do you think we're going to see certain characters next?
Well, we're going to get, I think, what do you mean?
Like, I mean, there's a few different things. Like, what do you think what do you think a lot of these characters are going to be up to next?
I think this series is directly going to lead into Captain America New World Order and Thunderbolts.
Yes, Thunderbolts has kind of been said to be a Black Widow sequel, so sure, but
Black Widow sequel, but also I imagine the power, what is her name? Val. She's gonna have an appearance. You're gonna get Bucky. We're gonna get So it'll be a continuation of that
Yeah.
too.
Where do you think we're going to see the Power Broker next?
Probably either Thunderbolt or Cap 4.
I think Cap 4.
Yeah.
Do you think so? Do you think we'll see any Isaiah Bradley moving forward?
I hope. Well, it's Patriot, right? That's the kid.
Mm-hmm.
If they
That was
make him into a character, we'll definitely get some Isaiah Bradley. However, if we don't, I don't want to see Isaiah Bradley again because I think they left him off on a perfect note, and anything else would be like sort of exploiting that character.
Do you think we're going to see that kid again?
Maybe. Depends on how desperate Kevin gets.
Your mate Kev.
Oh, Kev.
Okay. Yeah, I think that about sums our thoughts up. The only question left to ask is what are we watching next month?
Next month.
So we could do I think our options are something MCU other than Loki, because Loki season 2 is in a while. We could
Moon Knight?
Yeah, we could do Moon Knight. We could do like Daredevil. We could go like something Netflix.
Ooh.
There is a bit more of that to watch, but
Or do we do Defenders?
we could do Defenders.
Let's do Defenders.
Okay, we'll do the Defenders. Sure.
Oh, I really don't want to do that. And
do you want to do the Defenders?
I just remembered how awful that show was.
We could do Daredevil. Daredevil's a bit longer though.
Yeah, in 3 seasons.
No, we'll do 1 season. We could do what other superhero shows are there? I was gonna say Arrow. 1 month we've got to do one of them.
Doom Patrol.
Oh,
well, that wouldn't work.
Doom Patrol wouldn't work.
Because neither of us have seen it. I haven't seen it.
No, neither have I.
So on rewatch, looking back, it's just a review.
Should we do a vote? Like,
sure.
What are our options? Moon Knight,
Defenders,
Daredevil, season 1,
and Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
We'll do. Are we? I don't know if that should count.
I put it on the poll. If people want it, people get it.
Yeah. Give them what the people want, Dean.
Doom Patrol's not going to win.
Unless they hear this podcast and everybody goes and just spams Doom Patrol.
No, people respect me too much to do that. People
right.
Go, oh, we can't vote for that because I respect Dean Walker above all else. They'd full name me and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been talking for too long. And
we have.
I don't know why I don't end every episode with we've been talking for too long. Yeah. So next week is Shazam. Can I pitch you an idea live on the podcast?
Sure.
What if we do because I feel like a lot of movies are coming out at the moment. What if we do like Shazam and other films we've watched?
Sure.
Just because I can't be bothered to talk about Shazam for too long.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening, everyone.
Adios. To me, that sounds like I got it.
It sounded like me to me. So only the listeners can tell. We will see you all you beautiful, wonderful people. If you listen to this podcast, you're beautiful. Like we
besides that one guy.
Will. We vet all of you.
No, not Will. The one guy who didn't like Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Okay.
That I mentioned earlier.
Oh, we
don't like him. Yeah, we don't like him.
Okay. Yeah. We don't like if you're racist, hey, stop it. And on that note, we're gonna end the episode.
Good job, Dean.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Single-handedly stopping racism.